You know what I'm saying? Let's just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Let's kick it. Came out a little early where I froze to death. The heat quit working. Quit working Thursday too. Called the guy. Came out. Fixed it. Quit working again. Let's just party. I've been drinking a lot of tea lately. And it sucks. Any way you look at it, it sucks. You know, YouTube sent me like 100 copyright infringements. You know, they match the video on things. And I just filled out the thing and clicked OK, you know. They show like 100% copy of my video. I already got people bitching. So who knows? Just be kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Coming into the new year. Hey Dolly, how you doing? Happy New Year. How's it going? Came out a little earlier. Thermostat heater quit working in here. Got a heater down by my feet. Yeah, I came on early. Got my stuff done. Yeah, Happy New Year to you too. How's work going? Do you have to work next week? Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's crazy, no snow, isn't it? Oh, gotcha. Oh, you're getting rain up there, are you really? Yeah, it dries a bone up there in West Branch. It's crazy. How'd Christmas go? Okay. Yeah, there's not even any snow forecast for like the next couple weeks. There wasn't any from Chicago all the way up to Michigan, cutting across Southwest Michigan either. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I get it. I can't believe this crazy housing prices for people. I got a bunch of copyright infringement things from YouTube. I just fill them out and turn them in, but I think they could have been wrong on some of
Trust
these.
me when I say that this is one of the easiest and tastiest weeknight meals.
Weird. Oh, a condo and apartment? Oh, you don't want to own again? Yeah, but you don't get any tax relief by not owning. I'll tell you, man, I would be very. I would buy my condo though if I were you. I don't think rent's done going up. And when at the end of the road, you have some equity. You get to write off the interest. Oh, condo in Roseville, yeah. Oh, gotcha. I don't really know how living in Roseville would be. Why don't you sell that too and just get a nice condo around you where you live someplace? I mean, the problem is the market's high now. Do you ever go down there and visit, or do you have anybody renting it or anything? Oh, gotcha. I see the interest rates just came down a little bit. Full percentage, actually. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I hate renting stuff to people. I mean, it's nice getting the rent, but you never know what people are going to do when they get in a place. We have clear skies tonight. I'm sure those condos have went up quite a bit down there as well. Hi, Frisky. How are you? Happy New Year. Oh, yeah, a lot of people do that. Yeah, that's normal. No, it's not crazy at all. I know so many people that have done that. Yeah, I think that's normal. Yeah, nah, don't feel alone. I know everybody I know did that unless they had to get out of someplace. Is this strengthen or weaken your faith, or neither one? Where's that at, Bull? Yeah, moving on sucks. That's in Michigan. Oh, okay. 10-4. I'm going to be coming up to Michigan. I should be up there right now, but the sale fell through. We just talk about anything, Bill. Bring up anything you want. We talk about a variety of things. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Dolly. We could talk about sticky traps, how to get mice out of them. We can talk about what falls in a sticky trap accidentally, unintended consequences. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Happy New Year. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. Where are you located, Bull? Oh, you caught a mouse last week. Yeah, well, don't put it up on YouTube. It'll cost you your channel for a week. Hell no. Hell no, it's not up. A mouse got in it, and I did a video how to let them loose, how to clean them up and get them out of there. Oh, yeah, man-sized trap. That's true, Bill. Where at in South Texas? You down around Brownsville? Dolly, you're welcome to come up. Frisky, you can come up if you want. Chris? That's how I was. No, I had the same thing. I didn't have a head cold. Marty was sick, too, before he left to Hilton Head. Man, I'll tell you, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. I think I'm back. I think I got some kind of gastrointestinal problem. I don't know. I thought I had COVID, a couple weeks ago. Man, I was sicker now. And that had come on pretty early. I hope this, I go to this dermatologist. I've had every kind of skin cancer there is besides melanoma and Merkel cell, which is no big deal. You get them burned off. You get the Mohs procedure. You get them dug out. Liquid nitrogen, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So honestly, I think it's a bug bite. There's some bug in here that bites me at night, and I got sticky traps. I cleaned a full cleaning before I left. And I don't know what the hell it is, gives me these red marks. And I think that red mark on my shoulder was a bug bite, not skin cancer. Hey, Mary. Anyway, long story short, they sent it out. At first, they told me it got lost. And the second time, they told me that the results were inconclusive. They needed more tissue. So, and that took 2 months, which was weird. Well, I wouldn't say that I'm friends with the doctor, but I am an acquaintance of him and his wife. They gave me their cell phone numbers and that kind of stuff. We're not hanging out or anything. So the one doctor that did the biopsy wanted to verify that I didn't have some kind of lymphoma connected to some kind of skin cancer. He didn't think it was, but he didn't get enough. Okay, yeah, that's no problem. So I called the wife and I said, hey, I don't want to wait till I get back from Michigan. I didn't know how long. Hey, Jeannie, I didn't know how long I was going to be up there. Do you think you could do this for our lap? She said, yeah, I could fit you in. She said, it's going to take a while because we're really busy. But no, I can understand how you'd want that off your mind. So I went up there and, they used the lidocaine and it was taking a long time. And the stitches are supposed to come out like now, 10 days or something like that. I didn't really pay too much attention. I can't see back there. It's on my left rear shoulder. Well, when I was doing all that stuff up in Michigan, I'm putting this bandage on there and it keeps coming off because it's sliding around while I'm moving boxes underneath my shirt. So I just left it off. And I got home a couple days ago and I got a mirror and looked in the mirror, backwards. And I got about a 6-inch scar from the left to the right. I don't care. It's not going to affect my modeling career. But the other biopsy was just small. Like you could use one of those circular Band-Aids. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, okay. Oh, got you, Bo. Truck driver. Oh, okay. Well, good luck. Oh, okay. Oh, off grid. That's getting harder to do places. They're making that a requirement now to live certain places. You can't be totally off the grid. Nuts. My house isn't done yet. There's still, I ended up going with Corian countertops. It doesn't really bother me, to tell you the truth. It has taken twice as long as it was supposed to. But, I'm living here. Nobody's ever here. I'm always by myself. So it's not like some big deal. I'm itching to get into a house because I'm living in a flop house. Whenever it happens, it happens. Oh, wow, though. Yeah, it fell through, yeah. Some glitch with the first time homeowners program and the way the condo association keeps their money in reserves for repairs. I lined him up with another mortgage broker up there. Hey, Caroline, how you doing? And she's real nice. I called her Thursday, didn't know me from anything, and called her and I gave her the 5-minute spiel. She called me back, which is, impressive enough. We talked. She said, do you have the name of the buyer? It's like, I do. So I gave the name of the buyer. She called the buyer and it's like, hey, can you come in today? I mean, this is like old school service. So I think it'll take a little longer, but I'm trying to work with this couple. They're really nice people. They're trying to get in a house, what are you going to do? Yeah, these HOAs. Try going to look at the HOAs in those gated communities in Hilton Head. I mean, there's two arguments for HOAs. One, they keep property nice and in order, and they don't leave it up to you to get in an argument with your neighbor because he left a boat out in the driveway with a flat tire. That's, overall, I think they're good. You can always tell when you pull into a neighborhood without one. There's shit all over the place. Boats in the backyard, snowmobiles on trailers in the driveway, just hillbillyville. Yeah, I got him another loan officer. If I have to, I'll finance it. I don't want to do that, though. I spent more money. I lost that divorce. I had to come up with a bunch of money for that and then appeal. I haven't furnished this place, so I'd rather not finance it, but I will if I have to. Happy New Year to you, Jeannie. You too, Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Neil Diamond. It seemed like that was on the radio constantly when I was young. Yeah, they're a super nice couple. You know, they're starting out. He's a park ranger at that park where I get all those under the ice videos. I never met him as a park ranger. She's nice. You know, it's hard to get into a house nowadays, man, with all this bullshit, especially up in northern Michigan. You know, their house values inflated and, you know. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool, Bull. Good for you. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. She's nice too. You know, I didn't want to mess around with a realtor. And, you know, we came to a deal early on, and right away it guaranteed me not messing with the realtor. And, you know, I'm lazy. It takes me forever to do anything. So I was able to drag my feet moving stuff out. So, in a fucked up way, it's worked out for both of us so far. I mean, yeah, they'd like to be moving in January 3rd, and they're not gonna. I got to get up there. I got one more last load of stuff, which is no problem. This time I'll be able to go visit Mary and stuff. I'm not so worried with a not fully loaded trailer as I would be if it was totally loaded. Yeah, you know, everybody says get generators, but I don't know. The power doesn't go out that much. Oh, cool. It is for most people. Dog's great. Thank you, Heather. She's over on the couch sleeping now. Hey, Conan, how are you? Went through old Cincinnati the other day. Oh, yeah, I believe it, Bull. Hey, Bull, you'll know this. Now, I'm not asking you what you make, but I've read articles on the internet that said that truck drivers made more in the 70s and 80s that they do now, if you factor in inflation and stuff. So in today's dollar amount, what would you say the range is a truck driver can make? Just a average truck driver, not hauling fuel or nuclear bombs or any of that shit. Just what he can count on for a year, the ranges of pay. I got a recommendation in my YouTube stream of, you know how in trucks when you're parked close together and you're pulling a trailer, the back of that trailer swings out wider, and you have to be conscious of it. I mean, whether it's a trailer, boat, or whatever. And there was just, again, almost looked like the guy did it on purpose. It's snowing out there at a truck stop. The truck's right next to another one parked, like maybe 3 feet away, 2 feet away. And he pulls out just past the other tractor, you know, like maybe one length of the cab, and starts turning. And he just crunched that other truck next to him from about the middle all the way up to the cab, tore the mirror off and everything. Yeah, house payment's cheaper than an apartment. That's right. $2,800 a week. Okay. What is that 70 CPM exactly? In the 2,800 a week. Is that it's hard to get ahead. It is, yeah. Yeah, well, you know, but the equation's different now than it used to be. I mean, everybody rents when you're starting out unless you come from money. Wasn't any big deal. You rent, you ratcheted down your spending. You saved up for a house and you quit renting and you bought a house. Now rent so much and, wages are stale. Inflation's rampant that when you're renting, it almost guarantees you're never going to be able to save up enough money for a house. Oh, cents per mile. Gotcha. Oh, okay. And Bull, how many hours can you drive in a day? Hey, Richard. Yeah, it'll work out okay, Richard. Yeah, it will. I got 5 people that want to buy it right now for more than I sold it to them for. 2 of them are cash buyers. Yeah, $200 a month. Yeah, a lot of factors. Oh, $2,800 a week. Okay. Do you sleep in your truck, Bull? Oh, 14-hour non-stoppable clock. Gotcha. So if you drive 11 hours and you go and you fuck off 2 hours in a mall, that goes against your 14 hours? 14 hours. Gotcha. Oh, interesting. Okay, good. So once you do this 14 hours, how many hours is it before you can start driving again? Yeah, time management. Yeah, I believe that. Yep. How many hours after that 14-hour clock stopped do you have before you can drive again? 10 minutes, that's it? And I think that's all electronically or 10-hour minimum. Okay. Oh, 10-hour minimum. Gotcha. Oh, gotcha. Oh, 10-hour minimum. Okay. Hey, Shaniqua. Happy New Year. Good to see you. And Bull, do you ever get in a situation to where you just end up someplace you don't want to be and you don't want to blow your 14-hour deal, but you're coming up on 14 hours, so you just have to pull over someplace you really don't want to pull over and then wait it out for that 10-hour minimum? I mean, you got to be able to get in jams where there's nowhere to park, right? The same to you, Shanika. You still working at that same place? Yeah, right. Story of your life. Yeah, I believe that. Yep. Where you been, Shanika? How come it's been so long since we heard from you? Everything okay? Oh, okay. Good for you. Well, that's good. Good. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Yeah, I'll send it to you. I haven't got a physical address yet because the house isn't done with utilities on it. P.O. Box. Yeah, I have not been. No, I'm living down here in Georgia. I haven't been up there. You knew that, didn't you? I built a house in Georgia. No, it's P.O. Box 455. These damn keys stick on that. It's 455, not 45. Thank you. As I said earlier, YouTube sent me like 100 and something copyright infringements. Oh, gotcha, Bull. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Shaniko, I was in Rockford last week. I forgot all about you. I was supposed to be coming back this weekend, but the sale of the house fell through. Yeah, I was in Rockford the other day. Forgot all about it. Yeah. I wasn't connecting that to Grand Rapids, even though I went right through it. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know I was going to go through there myself. I wasn't going to go that way originally. I know it, man. It sucks. I didn't even think of it. There's a good sushi place in Rockford. Yeah, I would have. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, nuts. Yeah, it really is. Oh, thank you. Yeah, my buddy bought basically the whole town there and tore down that mill, was tearing it down to build a new plant. It's a cool town. It's sad to see it, that and everywhere else I drive. Heading that under that condition, you know what I mean? And I'll tell you, man, it's the holidays. I don't want to talk about this, really get everybody pissed, but man, I'm telling you, there's so much blight in the country. No, I'm going to come up. I'm coming back. I am coming back there next week, but the only reason I was by there is because I had to go by Chicago and pick up some Christmas decorations. Hey, Christine. Or I would have never been over there, so I cut up along the west side of the state and then slowly made my way up through Grand Rapids and went all the way up to Houghton Lake and then cut across to West Branch. That's actually the quickest route. Yeah. Come down to Georgia and visit. From you, it'd be about 1,000 miles. Yeah, Christmas decorations. Yeah, there's a lot of it. No, you're right about that, Bull. Yeah, I know. Yep. Yeah, it's true. I knew I never had that. I never had that many copyright violations. I think YouTube might have messed up with this. Everyone they sent me to, they said it was 100% copy of my videos. So I don't watch them. They're the ones that sent it to me. But remember this conversation, because I wouldn't doubt YouTube set me up to screw me some kind of way. Yeah, well, it was that you were getting stuff a lot cheaper. American labor. Yeah, it's cheaper. That's the name of the game. I mean, if Walmart and all these discount stores went away and you had to buy stuff that was made in America, nobody could afford anything. Using videos that somebody has already uploaded. YouTube matches them. They've got computer programs that match them, so they alert you. Hey, Love, how you doing? I was talking to a lady tonight who has an autistic child, and she's trying to ascertain how she would determine if this kid is ready to drive or not. Do you have any ideas on that? Yeah, but I'm always suspicious of anything they do. No, they're probably pissed at me. You know, I wouldn't be surprised they'd send me some bogus information that I would sign off on and tell me I should have read it better, even though they're the ones that sent it to me. Oh, no kidding, Bull. That's cool. Wow. Oh, yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, shit. Driving a car seemed like nothing. No, I don't trust them. Basically, I think it's artificial intelligence. And they're just so overwhelmed and inundated with, crazy amounts of data that it's just not feasible to have human beings regulate it. They're not going to tell you that. But in the last few years, any dealings I've had with them, it's clear that a human being isn't working on it. Yeah, how would they ascertain that, Info? What do you do? Just take a kid out in the parking lot and tell him not to hit the light poles and hope, and if he doesn't, then he's ready. That's the problem. Yeah, this F-250 I drive will do it. You push a button, it parallel parks itself. Oh yeah, I believe that, Bull. Yeah, I believe it. I've never heard of a driving simulator. Oh, learn at their own pace. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, but a lot of people think they can do things. I mean, I just can't help but think there's a step before setting anybody gets behind the wheel, even with a guy with another, wheel on the right side. Oh, for commercial time. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's true. There's trouble.
Never.
How's it going?
God, how are you?
Good. We were
How's
just
every-
talking. I was talking to Impalov about, ascertaining, when a person is ready to learn to drive. I mean, how do you do that? Rather than just throw them in cold turkey and start teaching.
I mean, everybody's different. You just have to, feel the person out, and if they really want to do it, and then just like take them to a parking lot, I guess, and see how they do, and then
Yeah, but if you take them to a parking lot,
it if the most they're gonna do is hit a curb, and then if they're just kind of like, no, I'm okay, like then all right, it's okay. Not it's not your time.
yeah. So there's people out there in just a regular car that are willing to just set somebody in the driver's seat and just hope for the best.
The thing is if the other if they seem like they're capable, and if they seem like they're capable, then you take them to a parking lot You tell them, "Here, look, go really slow around here and test out the waters, and if it's a you know, if you get a little ding in your car because they hit a curb or whatever else, it's not that big of a deal, and you just try again another time." Gauge how the other person's feeling, how everything
Yeah.
else. But you can't really judge too much unless if they go out there and do it themselves, and you can kind of gauge if they're ready to a certain degree.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was, yeah, I never know anybody that did it. I've never known anybody. Yeah. Straight line driving, slow turns. Yeah.
Yeah. Take them to and the safest way is to take them to an empty parking lot because what's the most if something does happen, they hit a curb going a little too but they do but Tom, they also have driving schools too, where the passenger has control of the car.
I know,
So,
but I'm talking about, I mean, driving school makes sense, but that's a big step. I don't think you're going to like ascertain whether they're ready or not by just doing it that way.
I mean,
I
it's a
mean, once
good
they get in a driver's ed car, I agree. Yeah. But it's before then.
I think, like I said, like if you're a parent or whatever and you take your child out to um an empty parking lot,
Yeah.
just big empty park, and you can probably gauge from there. And I mean, maybe they might
Yeah.
hit a curb, like a parking lot curb or something, and
Yeah.
just go from there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but in
Can I
all,
use your car for it?
sure.
Okay. I had a girl. Good sport, you.
In my car, I don't like my car anyway, so you can use it.
Yeah.
Drink it. He comes
I
back.
mean,
It's like,
all of us, when I was a kid, it was different then. We all drove. I got caught driving twice when I was 15.
well, I I don't. I mean, like
Yeah,
I
they did,
was.
Richard.
It's all. Every kid is different. Every person's different. Every kid's different. I mean, it's not like a one fits all. Not every human is a
No, they
one.
are, but eventually, at least where I'm from, we all got our driver's license. Nobody flunked.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we were different, but I'm trying to differentiate between flooring it into the biggest light pole in New York or not. And what do you do up until then? You know what I mean? Hey, troubles.
I mean,
You might. It seems like you could just get you could get one of these private driver's ed things and just pay them $150 and say, "Hey, could you let me know if you think it's my son could like do this?"
well, that's what I what I told my son with driving when he, was, when that age. I said I felt better with a professional who had control from the passenger seat, just in case if anything were to happen, they can stop the car from the
No,
passenger
I know
seat.
that, but I'm talking about before that. Well, all us kids, everybody knew we were going to go to driver's ed and take training. Nobody worried that we couldn't do it.
I mean,
And I just don't know of any actual incidents where people just took a kid's like, I don't know if he can drive or not, dumped him off in a driver's ed thing and wished for the best.
here's the deal. You have the conversation with your child,
Yeah.
right? If they're very hesitant, like iffy about it, you come back, you revisit that conversation. Like I was the child that was like, I want to drive. I want to drive. I want
Yeah.
to drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not all kids, and there's nothing wrong. with a child who isn't like, I want to, I need to drive right away either. So,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I get it. I'm with you. Yeah, they are kind of different. Yeah, you're right about that. I think that's true. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it is, they've changed so many laws too with kids getting their license. Like before,
Yeah.
when I was that age, when I was at that age, when I was of that age, you could get your license when you were 16, and
Yeah,
now
that's
I
when I
think you
got my.
have.
How much is it now?
I don't know, but what I do know is I think you have to be 17 now to get your license. I think you have to have a certain period of time having your permit before you can get your license. Where when I got my license,
Yeah.
there was no waiting period. So literally, I got my permit, took my 5-hour course, and then 2 months later, I had my road test scheduled all when I was 16. Like I didn't have to have so many months and hours of driving. Like they didn't care about that. But now I think it's different. I think you have to wait
I know there's a
which
lot
makes
of
sense.
bullshit.
Well,
When
it
we got
makes
our
sense.
license, you could do what the hell ever you wanted to. And now it's like you can't drive at night. You can't take people
So
with
he-
you.
so here's the deal. I understand some of the restrictions because when I got my license at 16, I was very inexperienced. I ran into
At
like a
driving.
couple, right. I had a couple of hiccups, nothing major, like no major accidents or anything, but because of my lack of experience driving, I did have a couple of things happen. Not because I was being irresponsible or anything else. It was because I never went through certain situations that I'm like, oh, but then you learn really quick. You learn, you're like, that's a good lesson. Like, then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do that, or else.
Right.
So I mean, it's something, but it's a major responsibility.
Yeah.
It is. It's a
Mhm.
driving is a, you know, so
Yeah.
it's one of those things you got to get like some children aren't responsible at a certain age, and others are very responsible
Yeah.
and they're very trustworthy. You know, every kid's different. So, and
I think by the time I was driving 6 months, I could take a bra off and drive too at the same time.
I got to tell you, when I uh, I learned really fast, and I learned how to drive a standard first too, on top of just learning how to drive. So I was piled on with more difficulties, just to begin with, than just some person, getting in an automatic car and learning how to drive. I had to learn how to drive a standard while learning
Yeah.
just to drive in general. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I had to deal with
We
that,
we had, we all had
but,
standards.
but within,
Thank you,
but,
Frisky. Thank you.
but literally within with, within about 6 months of having my license, I was driving a standard, 16 years old, and I was using my cell phone before cell phone laws came about. This is how old I am. Geez, I feel old. This was
Oh,
before cell phone laws came out, and I was driving a standard at 16 with a cell phone too. But now, this was before Bluetooth technology. This was before there were laws
yeah.
about using your phone um, and driving in general. So this is how
Thank you,
far
Jim.
that's came along
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
I never got in any major accidents, Tom.
Yeah, good for you.
Yep.
Driving is a privilege. That's right, not a right. That's what they tell you when they take it away.
Well, I tell you what, I took it at 16 years old. I took it as a I was I did not want to lose it.
Yeah.
So just I didn't have a bunch of friends in the car. Like I enjoyed my freedom of being, well, I mean, it was my mother's car, so it's not like I could just take a car whenever at 16. It's not like I could just take the car whenever I wanted to, but I felt like I have that privilege of driving myself places without having somebody with me.
Yeah.
And I took it seriously. Like even with my friends and stuff, I was like, don't, not a lot of noise, like not, whatever. It
Mhm.
was one person in the car. I stuck to those rules.
Come on up, Rita. Trouble as you come up. That's good. So you're a good driver.
I have a good driving record. Yes, I do. I mean, like I said, I'm not perfect. Like,
Right. Right.
stuff, especially when I was younger, like, and just learning, just
Hey,
trying to
Rob.
gain that experience.
Yeah.
But, and plus, it was my mother's car. Do you know how bad I would have felt if I was like, yeah, it's not even, I just smashed her car too on top of it. It's one thing if you do it to your own, like, but it's
Yeah.
like, not that you should do it to your own or cause any, but like, it wasn't mine to,
Yeah. Rita learned on a tractor.
wow.
Little country girl Rita.
You go, Rita. I always wanted to do, I gotta tell you, I know it sounds lame, but like, Rita, did you like have a farm or something? Why'd you have a tractor? That's so cool. To me, that's so cool. Did you have overalls? Were you rocking overalls and freaking riding on a tractor with hay bales?
She comes from North Carolina, cigarette country.
It is. Like I learned when I was thinking about relocating to North Carolina, I learned that. I never knew that before. I mean, there's stuff that you just don't know about certain states, so you look into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Rita was running around the Jane outfit like Tarzan and Jane.
I could see. Did you have like
Different.
one of those hats and like your overalls and like Farmer Rita? That's cool.
Yeah.
Old McRita had a farm.
That's right. Yeah.
Did you have
Tractor's
some?
easy. Yeah. That's right, Richard. Yeah. I pulled a tree out of the way for the sheriff's department the other night, the tractor.
Did you really?
Yeah. I wouldn't have done it, but the one guy that was up there let me go on a burnout taillight, burnout uh, license plate light. And, they came down here, tickets are criminal. They're not civil. So, I mean, he could have gave me one and he didn't. So what I realized while I was standing there, because I had to come around to my house from the other way, I
Hmm.
heard him bitching that they had to babysit that tree until someone from the city came. Well, it was Thursday night, and nobody from the city was coming Thursday night, so they might have had to babysit that thing so nobody'd run into it. So they wanted to go out and write tickets and shit. He basically begged me to go get the tractor and take it out of the way because they could go out and patrol. So I did it. He helped me out one time.
Yeah, well, that's interesting too. I never knew that those tickets are criminal because like
Yeah,
here
Georgia, their tickets are criminal. Yeah,
you can get tickets here and you just,
they're civil infractions.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Most states, and the reason that most states change those is they didn't want to have the burden of proof on them, and all these people requested hearings, and the cop had to, prove the burden of proof. Where that all goes away on civil infractions. I'm surprised it's still like that. Crazy. Yeah,
The world's a crazy place.
it is. Crazier. Really is, man. You look at, you go shopping and stuff, and you just wonder how these people with all these kids. I don't know how they do it.
Let me tell you, when I was, especially like when I was younger and, before I had my son and everything, I was like really judgmental about like people like with kids and like how their parenting skills and how they parented until I had a child of my own. And I'm like, well, I kind of get the stressors and everything else, and that like nobody's, perfect and stuff. Like and the cost of kids too is outrageous.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Especially now. Like I saw diapers and stuff, and it's like
I know.
you know what? I don't blame people anymore for think for taking a second back before they think about having kids. It should be natural to want to have kids. Like, not saying like it's your choice, but like it shouldn't be like, hey, I can't have children because I can't afford it, even if I'm being responsible and
No,
I'm
it's true.
working full time.
That's what the dilemma is for a lot of people, that and home ownership.
Right. Well, the thing is, and it's sad
Hey,
because
Mark.
if you're out there and you're working full time, right? So like
Yeah.
let's say you have a full-time job, and maybe it's not the best job. Like let's say you didn't go to college, right? But you're out there and you're working a decent, job, and you're really 40 hours a week. You shouldn't be like, do I deserve to have a child?
Yeah.
Because that shouldn't be the case.
My whole damn neighborhood was accidents. Baby boomers, it was. Nobody was planning on any of us.
Well,
And
I
if
wasn't
you talk to the parents, you know, of your buddies later, they'd admit to that. I know my parents did.
right. Well, but the thing is too is like when you're at an age where you're thinking about having a child and you're out there, you're working, you're working full time and everything else, you really shouldn't have to be like, hmm, I don't know if I should have a kid because I don't know if I can afford to have a kid because, everything is so expensive.
Yeah,
Like it's sad.
it is.
Like
I just think that
reproducing.
sometimes, like, I think that, yeah, because I compare it to, the time I grew up in and I compare it to now. But I don't know if it's sad as much as of it is a product of the playing field's getting leveled now, rather than everybody in the United States having this fantastic life, guaranteed jobs out of college, and if you had a high school diploma and all this bullshit, all that's gone now. The standard of living that I'm used to is gone. And
Right.
maybe it's just the new generations. If you're into this a generation or two, I mean, you don't really get it.
I think right.
Your
So
your your grandparents that had, middle class jobs seem rich to you.
no, no, like I'm serious. Like I had not even just my grandparents, my parents, my you know, my parents didn't have these they had a job where anybody could walk into, right?
Yeah.
So like you didn't need a degree, you didn't need anything. They had run of the mill jobs, right? And they could afford with those jobs a house in the suburbs, like a decent house in the suburbs, vehicles, decent vehicles, basic needs, and could raise a family on that. But now it's like if you don't have a 4 to 8 year degree, like good luck finding a job where you could make a stable life for a family, for any family member. So it's to that point. It's like, oh, if you don't have at first it was like, oh, you need an associate's degree, right? So you need an associate's degree and you were pretty good with getting into like a good job, right? Now it's like they want a bachelor's degree or better. And these jobs, and I'm not talking about like, oh, a doctor or a lawyer, those positions, you need all of that schooling, education. I'm talking about jobs where you don't need that, but they want that. They want to see that you spent X amount of money, right?
Yeah.
which is outrageous. We all know how much school is. They want to see that you spend a ton of money in school. They want you to, and there's nothing wrong with going to college and learning and bettering yourself, nothing. But can you afford it? See, what's happening is people are getting these bachelor degrees, ranking up these school loans, which are outrageous. And then when they get their jobs, they're not making like a ton of money or anything because they're not a lawyer. They're not like uppity positions. And then they're stuck with the student loan and they're trying to uh, navigate through that and also just wanting a house and stuff. And I understand that nothing is instant and you need to struggle for a little bit. Like I grew up like that, like
Yeah.
I get it, right? But
Yeah.
it's to the point where it's like, how much is too much,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
How much is to the point where people like I have people in my family who went to um who wanted to be doctors, but they found out if you become a PA, you're making good money doing just about the exact same thing as a doctor. So why go through that extra stop to be a doctor when you're doing the same thing as a PA does?
Right.
So I mean, they make it they just make it that difficult and scary. Like when you're young and you're like, here's some options in life. And some people, their goal in life was is to have a family. Not everybody, not everybody, but some kids and stuff was like, I just want to have a family and just a decent paying job and where I work hard at the job every day and bust my tail, sweat, freaking go through the aches and pain, and they're okay with that. Or you could take another route, and that route is you go to college, you suffer because of the money that you put in, and then who knows what kind of job you're going to get to pay that off. So then you suffer that route. So you can take two different routes. Both you're going to suffer, but one of them, the route where you suffer, where you work hard at your job and you really put in the effort and that's just going to be your job for the rest of your life. Or you can go to college, suffer for 4 to 8 years, and then you have your dream job where you're not suffering so much anymore. But what's different is the with the dream job where you suffer that amount of time going through college, you have a massive, massive debt, but you have this job that you always wanted and it's easy. It's not going to be like this job where you're continuously just doing. So I mean there's routes in life that you can take.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't I honestly deep down don't feel I feel that you should not have to pay that much for college. And I know there's programs for, lower income level families. I get it. There's programs to help people who don't come from wealthy, who are like scared because they see that roadblock and they're like, you know, they're nervous about it, or
Right.
they've met people, but it's one of those it's one of those things. It's like I mean, you do have your options. Nothing's ever easy, but you just got to decide, what field you want to go for. But like I got to tell you, the people that go to school, do the suffering, you know, because school's hard. I've done it. School isn't like easy by any means. Um, you gain a lot of knowledge, so you have that. You're educated. You probably made some friends along the way in college, so you have your, college buddies, and it's a life experience. Where if you take the other route, you might make some friends at work, and who knows? But like, it's good to have whichever way, no way's bad. Whichever way you decide to pick in life. I mean, there's just going to be that.
Yeah. How's your prices going over there in Rochester? Are they still doing well?
You know what? Rochester used to be a very, very affordable place to live, and not so much anymore. Not so much. But minimum wage hiked. I'm comparing prices to when, minimum wage was like $5 to $7 an hour. Now minimum wage is $15 an hour. So I think that played into the fact of how everything else. Do you see where that trend is? Like
Yeah.
minimum wage goes up. It seems like everything else starts going up too. So I think that has something to do with it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Rochester used to be extremely affordable, and now it's kind of like just the same as a lot of different places, but I don't know if that's just because of the minimum wage going up so much. Because minimum wage around here was $7 for a long time. Now minimum wage is $15 an hour.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess it kind of just even, but this is where people got screwed. So where people felt it the most was, let's say you had that middle level job, right? Where you're making just above minimum wage to support your family. Like, I'm talking like $5 an hour more above minimum wage, right? Those people, when minimum wage increased, those people never got the cost of living increase. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Companies didn't, if you had to start at minimum wage, you got that starting point. But let's say you were with a company for 10 years, they didn't increase your pay because minimum wage went up. Your pay stayed the same. No one came in and was like, oh, minimum wage went up this far, and here's the difference. Like, minimum wage went up $1 this year. No one got a dollar raise because minimum wage went up $1. You see where I'm getting at?
Yeah. Yeah.
So some people got the raw end of the deal. Meanwhile, they're hiring people off the streets, because minimum wage is 15. We'll hire you at 15.50. How does that sound? Of course it's going to sound good to people who are just entering the job. But
Yeah.
people who've been at certain jobs for a long time, it's not like the bosses came out that year and was like, oh, here's $1 more an hour because minimum wage went up. That's
Yeah.
where they get you. And then you're just kind of like, oh, that's nice. Well, Jane over here just got hired at the appropriate wage that you are legally having to hire people at. But here I am, I've been here for like 10 years or more. I got nothing. So it's like, where did all of that time and hard work that I put in? And I didn't get anything for it. And then I'm seeing, whoever coming in, and that's what they're getting. So that's where I think that's kind of unfair I think it's unfair to the people who put time and effort into a company, and then they see people coming in making just barely below what they make.
Right.
So, I mean, that's where that is. But yeah, because for a long time, when I first started working, minimum wage was, I want to say like $5 an hour, 5.15, and then it went to like $7, and it stayed there for like 10 years. And all of a sudden, everyone's like, minimum wage needs to go up, minimum wage needs to go up, this and that. Well, as soon as minimum wage started going up, that's when I would see the food prices start to slowly go up. And you don't notice it at first necessarily because a lot of people don't look at that so much. And then it just started, oh, it's 5 cents more. Oh, it's this more. Every time it seemed like minimum wage would go up around here.
Yeah.
So that's the dilemma. But as far as cost of living around here, yeah, that's definitely that's it, but it didn't really take a huge hike until COVID happened.
Yeah.
But I think that happened everywhere.
I
I
think
don't know.
housing prices are crazy everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone um, should be able, if you're working full time, you should be able to afford your basic needs. You know, you shouldn't have to worry if you're going to pay RG&E, or you shouldn't have to worry if you can afford food. You shouldn't. It shouldn't be a case where you have to worry about basic needs. Like worrying about what you want, that's a different story. But worrying about just your run of the mill, if you're working 40 hours a week, you should be able to afford um, a decent place.
Right. Still hard though.
Yeah, life's a bitch. Life's hard. But I mean, like I said, there's always pluses to everything, and you just gotta.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here. You know, my furnace didn't work Thursday. They fixed it Friday, and now it's not working again. And it's cold here. And this is the only like good place to like set a computer.
Oh, okay.
I got a heater, but it's not that great. Well, thanks for coming on, Michelle. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'll probably do one with my phone tomorrow. If it won't be fixed because there's no way they're coming out here on Sunday.
To fix your phone?
No, to fix the furnace.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
don't know what's wrong with the damn thing. So you have a good night. Troubles, you party on. Richard, Mary, you guys have a good night tonight. And I'll hopefully get on tomorrow. Yeah, I do have a blanket. I put on like a long underwear top and stuff. That it's like cold out, like 31. And you know, these Georgia houses aren't exactly insulated the best because you're not planning on that. You know, so it gets cold in here. I don't know what it is in here, but it's cold. My feet are cold. All right. Well, have a good night, you guys.
What's wrong? What's wrong with your furnace?
I don't know. They thought it was an amp that was up in some exchanger, and they fixed that, and it worked all night last night. But when I came home today from shopping, it wasn't working. It just does
Oh,
nothing, no matter what you do with it. So I think there's a bigger problem. Hey, Steph. So if
well,
I do
those
one tomorrow, it'll be in bed under thick covers with my phone.
is it that cold? Is it that cold there now?
31.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you do
Yeah, I mean,
need to
it's
get
not
that
like
fixed. Okay.
crazy New York cold or Michigan, but it's cold
Well,
because these places aren't, insulated that great. So, if you were in an up north insulated home, it'd take a long time for it to get cool, but not in these.
oh, okay.
All righty. Yeah, I'm leaving because it's cold in here, Rita. All right, see ya, Frisky, Stephanie, Conan. You guys nighty night.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.